Hi, my name's David Featonby. I'm part of the Science on Stage team, and I've got this set of videos to show you, which I hope for secondary students, for secondary teachers, will be a little bit of an inspiration and give you some new ideas. The selection of experiments that you're going to see was inspired by the need to really engage our students at secondary level. Sometimes a lot of students get a little bit disillusioned with science. They feel, oh, I can't do it, and they give up. And some just aren't interested by the time they're 13, 14, 15. And it's our job to arouse their curiosity once more. Being fascinated by experiments is one of the key ingredients of getting a class really buzzing. So these experiments are to try and focus on perhaps unexpected results so that students begin to sort of wonder, oh, why does this happen, and so on and so forth. You can use the experiments in lots of different ways. Either one way is to sort of just set one of them every week and give them something to think about over the weekend. Another way would be to give it as a quiz, where you do 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 experiments in one go. And I think it's important with secondary students to allow them to discuss the answers and even to get answers wrong. Often by getting the answers wrong and having to rethink, that is when the real learning takes place. And my experience is you can really involve the whole class with these experiments by setting them out in groups and making them work together. So there are 2 sections to this video. First is a set of questions or puzzles, or however you want to say it, experiments that I start and stop halfway through and ask what's going to happen next. Simple as that. And then the second half, we give some answers and explanations. I furthermore divided the experiments into different sections. A couple of general ones to begin with that anybody could answer without really a great deal of scientific knowledge. That gets people going and gets people involved. Then there are some that are based on general school science that they should have already learned, but set in an unusual context. There are some experiments which are very unusual bits of science, maybe things that they've not learned so far. And then there's 1 or 2 that are just a bit of fun, that you may have no chance of knowing the answer, but you've got to make a theory up and try and work out what's going to happen. In addition to the videos, there's a reference sheet with some extra information, references and so on for the different experiments related to articles that I've written about them. In physics education, there are articles which give question and answer, but in a little more detail. And there is also a Facebook group called What Happens Next Experiments, which you can join. There's over 100 experiments that I've videoed during the coronavirus lockdown. So there's sort of one for each day or so. So I hope you enjoy thinking. I hope these experiments put you in the situation of the pupils very often, where they've got to puzzle over what you're talking about. And I hope you'll pause in between and then think of the answers and then look at the answers in the second half. If you're showing these to somebody, you could go from a question to an answer by flicking through the video. So enjoy the next half hour or so of questions and answers.